empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been.
Well, folks, it's hashtag no TNT Sports on this YouTube channel, if I can avoid it. And tonight it is your UCL game on Prime, of course. It's your Tuesday top pick. And it was most certainly a top pick in that 5:45 kickoff where Newcastle put 6 goals past Qarabag in a 6-1 away victory. Now, we come to the second leg where Newcastle are practically through. But hopefully we can see some goals. I'm talking in the 5 or maybe a 6 or a 7. This is Newcastle against Qarabag in the UEFA Champions League Playoffs to reach the knockout stages. So, folks, there you go then. Newcastle against Qarabag live in the UEFA Champions League. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back aboard to Real Football. My name is Tom, bringing you the watch-along tonight, everybody, for Newcastle against Qarabag live in the UEFA Champions League Playoffs. Second legs. If you do our watches on the replay, please do make sure you are leaving a like on the stream, hit the subscribe if you are new. Thank you very much indeed, folks, to everybody who is here today. Kick-off on the way for you at 8 o'clock in the UEFA Champions League, where we sit with the second legs of the playoffs. And once again, this is to reach the knockout stages of the UEFA Champions League. And these are the teams that have finished outside of the top 8, of course, who are competing. And Manchester City were nearly one of those teams, but Newcastle, the only English team, did pull off an amazing 6-1 victory in Qarabag in the first leg, which Arsenal fans got to enjoy at Molineux, of course, in a 5:45 kickoff. It was a very, very good win for Newcastle, and it's almost just really solidified the fact that they are going to be in the knockout stages, which is fantastic for them. But could Qarabag, probably the worst side in the champs, although they did get to the playoffs, the worst side still in it? Could they pull off a 5-goal victory, which would be required if they are to have any chance of reaching the knockout stages? Probably not. I mean, Newcastle can be dodgy and can be inconsistent, but I wouldn't think that they would lose by 5 goals at home to a team from Azerbaijan. And in that respect, anybody, really, of Qarabag's level. In fact, I wouldn't expect Newcastle to lose 5-0 at home ever. If Newcastle lost 5-0 at home ever this season, Eddie Howe will get sacked. Jamesy's here. Yes, this is, of course, your, well, not so much monthly, but obviously every time there's a Champions League midweek round of fixtures, Tuesday's top pick is on Amazon Prime Video. And of course, this is Tuesday's top pick, and it is no extra cost to Amazon Prime Video subscribers, unlike other football events that you may have to pay per view. Any Champions League or Premier League match, or, well, even though they've not got the Premier League anymore, that Prime do show is at no extra cost in your Amazon $8.99 or even lower subscription. So, yeah. I don't even know how much it is, to be fair. $6.99, $8.99, you name it. Somebody tell me. I don't care either. I don't care either. All I'm bothered about is I don't have to listen to TNT Sports today. Yay! Because, yeah, Tom's not a big fan of TNT Sports, and most certainly I did not enjoy, I think it was 7-8 days straight of TNT Sports. Yeah, no more TNT Sports. Yeah, we're not TNT Sports fans on this channel, most certainly not. And my TNT Sports' biggest fan. Okay, let's have a little look then at some team news and some match information, as well as a bit of a look at who else is playing on this Tuesday evening and what might have already happened. Let's have a little look. Let's go to UEFA.com/Champions League. Hang on, that is not UEFA.com/Champions League. That is just UEFA.com. Well, let's go now to UEFA.com/Champions League and let's switch over to the correct screen for you guys. Okay. Oh dear. Well, hopefully they can come back, because I did put Plymouth Argyle down to win on my accumulator insurance tonight. We have also got the Ladbrokes 1-2-3 in play, and if there is one tomorrow, I will have the Coral Football Super Series, but I am taking tomorrow and Thursday off. So please, people, there you go. You've been told. Yep, tomorrow and Thursday I'm having off. Our next stream after this game tonight will be on Friday night, and that will be probably the last edition for a while, Fraser, of Wolves against Aston Villa, which should be a bit of a thriller, we hope, at Molineux. 1-2-3 is for Juventus to win 2-1. This is all for tomorrow, by the way, as well. PSG to win 3-0 and Real Madrid to win 3-1. Acker Insurance for tonight is a 50p stake, return £7.61. Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, Hull City, Middlesbrough, and Plymouth Argyle all to win. So that's Hull to beat Derby, Borough to beat Leicester, Argyle to beat Luton, Atletico Madrid to beat Club Brugge, and Inter Milan to beat Bodo Glimt. Price boost for Newcastle to win by 3 or more and over 10.5 corners. And Anthony Gordon to score is a £1 stake, return £6.50. That is the slip for this game individually. And another one as well, £1 for £4.80 in Southampton, Bayer Leverkusen, Inter Milan, and Newcastle all to win. And yeah, the reason why I didn't put Southampton down on my Acker Insurance was because I'm not too sure, because Queen's Park Rangers have actually proved sometimes they can get some really good results, even though they are actually a pretty shit club. Yeah, I always find Queen's Park Rangers to be a bit of a banana skin when you're a punter. Okay, what a win it was for Atletico Madrid earlier in the day. Then they beat Club Brugge by some stretch, 4-1. And that, people, is a 7-4 aggregate win, which means that we had a 3-3 draw in the previous game between these two, which would be correct because I am recalling that now. What a game. A hat-trick for Sorloth. Cardoso got the the second goal from Atletico Madrid, which was after an Ordonez equaliser, and then Sorloth went on to get 2 more goals after Cardoso scored and made himself the man who got the hat-trick. 7-4 aggregate win for Club Brugge. That's good news for the Acker Insurance. We will have kicked off between Hull City and Derby County, Middlesbrough and Leicester, and Argyle obviously kicked off at 7 o'clock against Luton. So we'll go to SofaScore for those in a minute once we're done with the Champions League stuff. And yeah, I've gone the same, actually, Ryan Tune. For once, we match predictions, and for once, that's actually a realistic prediction from you. But I do like your unrealistic predictions. 5-0. Yeah, now, to be fair, if I'm a Newcastle fan, I'm thinking, right, yeah, I expect at least 5 goals here tonight and a clean sheet. Come on. You want to be beating these guys by 10 on aggregate, really. Come on. You beat them 6-1 in their backyard. You want to be beating them by 10, surely. Now you've got the home leg. Take the piss out of them. Make it hurt. Bayer Leverkusen against Olympiacos is one of the 8 o'clock kickoffs tonight. That will be on TNT Sports, and as to will into Bodo Glimt. First leg was a 2-0 win. I'm hoping for Bayer Leverkusen there. I wouldn't think that Olympiacos would be... Huh? Is it 2-0 on aggregate? Is it 2-0 on aggregate to Leverkusen, or is that Olympiacos? If Olympiacos lost 2-0, if Olympiacos have beaten Leverkusen 2-0, that is surprising. Now, I know for a fact, yeah, no, that's right. No, so, right. Yeah, first leg 1-3, but Inter Milan definitely beat Bodo Glimt. Sure. They're confusing me. I'm gonna use no. That's 3-1 Bodo. What? Nuts. Okay, thank you, SofaScore, for clarifying that for me. Bloody hellfire. Bodo Glimt, 3-1 up on aggregate against Inter Milan. That is, wow. Wow, I am in for a shock with that one. So Bayer Leverkusen, yes, are 2-0 up in aggregate against Olympiacos. There you go. Yeah, just about to say, there was no way Olympiacos are beating Bayer Leverkusen, but at the end of the day, strange things have happened, in which Bodo Glimt, of course, beating Inter Milan 3-1. So yeah, Inter Milan alone need to win by 2 just to get level on aggregate. Crazy. Check on the teams then. Aaron Ramsdale in goal for Newcastle, a back four. Kieran Trippier, Sven Botman, Dan Burn, and Alex Murphy. Alex Murphy. Midfielders are three of Nick Voltamada, Sandro Tonali, and Joel Linton. Behind the attacking three of behind the front three rather of Jacob Murphy, William Asula, and Harvey Barnes. I wonder if Alex Murphy and Jacob Murphy are brothers. On the bench, Nick Pope, John Ruddy, Harris. Wow, 3 goalkeepers. Lewis Hall, Johan Visser, Anthony Gordon, Anthony Alanga, Joe Willock, Shahar, and Sean Neve. Suspensions from Alec Tiao. For the Qarabag lineup and Gurbanov, it is Kolshalski who begins in goal for them. A back three of Medina, Husseinov, and Silva. I'm going to say that's a back five. It's a bloody weird shape. I'm going to say that's a 5-2-3. Okay, so you've got Jafar Guiliev and Danny Bolt also in that back five, kind of as wing backs, really. Then you've got a defensive midfield two, or just a midfield two, of Jankovic and Pedro Bicalion, behind a triangular front three of Montiel, Camilo Duran, just about to say, not John Duran, and Zubir. On the bench for Qarabag is Ramazanov, Buntic, Adai, Leo Andrade, Caddy, Kashuk, Gurbanli. No, I said that right first time. Fucking hell. Bayramov. There we go. What am I doing here? Husseinov and Jabrail Zade. There you go. Those are your teams. A few hashes in that. That was a bit fruitful. Okay. Those are your teams. This is Newcastle 6, Qarabag 1 on aggregate, and I have no doubt in my head that Newcastle, one way or another, will be in the Champions League knockout phases. Even if they are to get a scare of maybe a 4-0 defeat, I don't think they'll be losing 5-0 at home to Qarabag. Do you? I don't think so. I mean, it could happen. But I think you'd have to be mortified as a Newcastle fan. You just can't comprehend them losing 5-0 at home. You can't. I mean, no football fan really should comprehend losing 5-0 at home, even if you're against Real Madrid or Man City or somebody like that. I'm saying. Right, Amazon Prime Video, the place to watch. We're going to get that fired up for you right now because kickoff is fast approaching at St James's Park, and hopefully we are in for a goal show. My prediction is a 5-0 Newcastle win and the final aggregate score to be 11-1. But yes, a very weird formation by Qarabag. And we are going to have goal alerts on for you as well across the night. Because we've got, obviously, Inter Milan and Bayer Leverkusen both in action against Olympiacos and Bodo Glimt. We have kicked off, by the way, at St James's Park. What was I doing? Over score. I need to over score, don't I? Fired up for the goal alerts from Hull are already 1-0 up against Derby County. Elder with the 9th minute own goal to have Hull ahead. Blackburn Rovers are leading Bristol City by 1 goal as well. And Jacob Murphy, early chat. I hate the white shorts in their Champions League kit they sometimes wear Newcastle. It's horrible. And Ohashi's have got Blackburn ahead. And Southampton just kicked off against Queen's Park Rangers. But yes, we'll keep that. We will have goals on for you for Hull, Derby and Middlesbrough, Leicester. And also the not League One game. I thought it was in League One, but it's not. That must be, I bet, EFL Trophy. Right. Well, there you go. Goal alerts also for Luton Perth. Do I need any more? No, I don't. Goal alerts all set up and ready to go. Let's get some goals tonight. Down my throat. Ahead of a nice, cushy 2-day break. Good Premier League weekend for you there, once again, capped off and finished off with a bit of a cherry and a sprinkle, with Arsenal Chelsea being the headline act of the weekend. But what a beautiful game of football we've got on Saturday, Fraser, at the 5:30 slot in Leeds United against Manchester City. That should be one of the most entertaining games of football that you will see in time. I swear to God, Leeds Man City just has all the ingredients, with the way Daniel Farke set up Leeds, to be an absolutely end-to-end, I'm talking maybe 4-3, 3-2 type of game. I mean, I might be wrong, but that Leeds Man City game, for me, has the ingredients to be one of the games of the season. It looks absolutely amazing on paper. I can't even lie. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these white shorts, though, for Newcastle with this kit. It looks just too white, really. It almost looks like I'm watching Derby County players in James's Park, really. Particularly when I'm looking at the players' backs more than the front. Unless I get a replay of Harvey Barnes falling, in which case I see the front of the shirt. But you get the point. Maybe a full. You get the point, because the stripes stop on the back of the shirt. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Black shorts, black top, black socks for me. Dan Burn early effort, and Barnes back across. Free header for Burn. Follow up in. And Sandro Tonali got the final touch, and it's taken just 4 minutes for Newcastle to get their opening goal tonight, and it's 7-1 on aggregate. And you would imagine that already now it's out of Qarabag's sight. Probably already was out of sight for them, but that from Tonali should be Newcastle's cherry on the icing on the cake, as Martin Tyler would say. And that should be Newcastle into the round of 32 knockout stages. Let's have a look at the replay. Tonali originally is the creator of all of this movement. Fred ball through by Voltamada. Dan Burn has a shot block, falls to Barnes, and then he puts the cross in. It's a delicious cross for Dan Burn. It's a good save to deny a free header. Actually, it's Asula who gets the free header. Not Asula. Asula. And then Sandro Tonali gets the final touch. But I've just noticed that, actually, Baltamara in midfield. Oh, Joe Linton, 2-0 already. 2 quick-fire goals. 5 minutes and 24 seconds on the clock. And all of a sudden, it's 2-0 and 8-1 on aggregate. And this could be, as John Champion just said, a cricket score. Barely finished talking about the Tenali goal, and then Joel Linton goes and makes it 2. And now, by an absolute certainty, are Qarabag without any chance of reaching the knockout stages. An emphatic Newcastle start, and they're 2-0 up inside 6 minutes. What a ball. And he's totally free, Joel Linton. The simplistic of finishes, the freedom that Joel Linton had, and the amount of goals we're going to get tonight, I think, is there for all to see. It's absolute free scoring here. Literally barely a minute to breathe, and then all of a sudden got balls in the back of the net again. Second half is underway. Plymouth Argyle 1-0 down against Luton. Can they turn their fortunes around in that one? That's a foul in the back, yeah. Just a bit of a hand on the back, I think. It's a soft one, unless there was some contact with the feet. What a name. Gurban Gurbanov, the head coach of Qarabag. So 8 minutes gone. 2-0 Newcastle already. And I have zero doubt in my head that this price boost is coming through with Newcastle to win by 3 or more. Well, we need Gordon to come on and score. And we need 11 corners. Should be easy enough. Dan Burn on the ball for Newcastle. Maltamada. Yeah, I still don't understand why he's in midfield today, Maltamada. I don't know what the thinking was there, but well, you can't play a front four, in my opinion. See, I think Newcastle would do great with a 4-4-2, but they'll never do it because of having to include Barnes and Murphy or whatever, or Gordon. No, this is it until Friday now. From me, I'm having a nice rest because I do deserve rest, especially when Arsenal get rest. When Arsenal get rest, I get rest. And yes, Arsenal do get a rest this week, so I'm having a rest as well. Nope. Our next watch-alongs really will be all Premier League action for the next 1, 2... Hang on. Wednesday, Thursday is 2 days until Friday. That's Friday 3. Saturday, Sunday is 5. And then obviously you've got about 10 days really, or 9 days. For the next 9 days, it's pretty much Premier League content. Not all of them will have Premier League content, but for the next 9 days, it's just Premier League really. And then we've got the FA Cup, and yeah. I'm really annoyed at my good friends TNT Sports. You should have already got the memo by now that I don't like TNT Sports. Yeah, 12:15 fucking kickoff. F you for that one. Am I bollocks going to be going down to flipping Mansfield at 2? You can do one. You can absolutely do one, TNT Sports, if you think I'm getting to Mansfield for a 12:15 kickoff. Like I told you, the trains up there are shite. Just leave it as a 3 o'clock kickoff. Any Arsenal fan should be pissed off about that. And I'm pissed off about it. I can't lie. By the way, I've had news as well. I've had news, and it's good news. I know that the Everton fans won't like it, but I am in favour. UEFA, please, 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 on the week after we play Everton, make us play on the Tuesday so that our game gets moved to Saturday, 8 o'clock. Please. Please just do it. I beg you, UEFA, make us play on the Tuesday, because I will be over the moon and bloody delighted if that game gets moved from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Why, I hear you ask? Why? Why do you think? Fan cams? All that stuff? Yeah. I will be so grateful if UEFA move that game to Saturday 8 o'clock. No, sorry. I will be so grateful if UEFA put us on a Tuesday and force the Premier League to move to Saturday 8 o'clock. I'm all for it. Bring it on. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, the way I operate, Saturday 8 o'clock would suit me a lot more than 2 o'clock on a Sunday to watch Arsenal play on TV. And then I can sit back and watch Man United, Villa, or Forest Fulham. Yay! And let's face it, do I really give a toss about Chelsea? Actually, Chelsea, Newcastle. Oh, no. You're putting Palace Leeds on at 3 o'clock? And West Ham Man City's on TV? Well, that's a load of crap. Palace Leeds would be a cracking game. By the way, don't let me down with Leeds Bournemouth. You better if there's a Leeds Bournemouth still in line, put that on TV. Oh my word. The last time I watched Leeds Bournemouth at Ellen Road, 4-3, one of the best games I've ever watched. And yeah, day of the Qarabag Cup final, you already know it. There will be no action from me up until that 4:30 slot. Yeah, Tyne-and-Wear derby, no. Carabao Cup final day, 22nd of March. You already know what I'm going to say to you. You can jog off down the lane if you think I'm doing anything before that Carabao Cup final. No, sir. Especially not with 2:15 kickoffs on Villa, West Ham and Spurs Forest. Come on, you guys know me already. If we're kicking off at 4:30, 2:15 ain't going to work. You will likely never see me do a 2:15 kickoff. Can I just say that as it is? You will likely never get a 2:15 kickoff from me. And if ever Arsenal got put on at 2:15 or 2 o'clock from onwards of that Everton game, I'll probably attend it. Unless it's an away game, like, I don't know, Palace or West Ham, where I can't get tickets cheap. I told you all, Premier League, if you appoint me as the head of scheduling, oh, yeah, you'd be loving me. You'd be loving me. I would be the best person to pick out the games for broadcast, the kickoff times. And yes, I bloody would go through every one of the 5 Sunday kickoff time packages that you can have. Yes, Harper's free. Yeah. Do you know what? I quite like that, actually. Harper's free, suited, actually. The bit about those 3:30s that I didn't like was the 1 o'clock. Although, a 1 o'clock is better than a 12:30, obviously. They really should, although for saying that, the only bummer about 3:30s on a Saturday would be obviously then you'd be skewed with the. Although you could do 6:15, you could do 6:50 or even 6:30. I don't know. Don't care either. No, 3:30, 6 o'clock would work. That'd work. The new kickoff time schedule for a Saturday, 1 o'clock, 3:30. It never happened. It'd never happen. But 1 o'clock, 3:30, 6 o'clock. That doesn't sound too bad to me. That probably is the Sunday package anyway. I mean, I only follow 1 o'clock and 3:30, but I presume, yes, next in the pattern would be 6 o'clock. No, it would be, yeah. Well, after that thrilling start to the game with 2 quick-fire goals, we've had nothing to cheer about really in this game yet. It's Dan Burn for Newcastle. We're looking for more goals. We're looking for entertainment tonight. Otherwise, you might as well have put the Benfica game on Prime. Even though it would never happen. Why, I hear you cry? Because UEFA won't let a team play both games of a 2-legged tie on a Tuesday. It will never happen, which is annoying. Because it means that bloody TNT Sports get their hands on games that Prime would broadcast so much better. Although for saying that, Madrid-Arsenal, the second leg of that, they did do that well. Why, I hear you cry? Rio Ferdinand in commentary with Ali McCoy and Darren Fletcher. It works. I keep telling you, Rio Ferdinand last year in the commentary box was the only thing that made TNT work, at least for my cup of tea. Big up to you, Jeffrey Campbell. How are you doing? Welcome aboard. yeah. Like I say, me and TNT Sports don't get along at the minute. And particularly not after that recent stint of them putting us at 12:15 kickoff. They have completely ruined the FA Cup for me this year, really. Let's just say it as it is. Can I just be real with it? They're shit draws for Arsenal. We've had some right shit games as well. And then you're chucking on at 12:15 for the Mansfield Arsenal game. It is ridiculous. I don't know how TNT could expect anybody to get up there for 12:15. Because for anybody, just let me give you a radio alert here for anybody who doesn't know trains very well. The train service is hourly, turbo stars, shit. I swear to God, nobody, unless they're travelling at like 4 a.m. to get to the game, which I'm not doing, will get to that game on time. Other than the Mansfield fans, it is a scandalous kickoff time. So yeah, me and TNT Sports don't get along. Do you think Newcastle can win that? No. It will be probably one of Arsenal, Real Madrid, Man City, or perhaps Paris Saint-Germain if they can get to the final. I don't really know how to pick my full list of contenders, but I would probably say the top contenders would be my club, Arsenal, even though I don't believe in us to win it. But I'll put us as a contender. Why not? Newcastle, Arsenal, Man City, Real Madrid, PSG. They're my 4 contenders. There you go. I'm always going to put Real Madrid as a contender. I don't care how shit Real Madrid can be sometimes. Real Madrid are always going to be the monster of football. They will, and they've got the best ever Champions League winning record, I think. So, I mean, look, it's nice to dream. I think you must be a Newcastle fan, but you've been very inconsistent this year. You've had some right dodgy results. And I just don't think that Newcastle would be able to win the Champions League under Eddie Howe and in this season. What Newcastle need to be targeting is finding a way to get into the Champions League again or European football again. Maybe winning the FA Cup to get into the Europa League. I don't know. But Newcastle would not win the Champions League for me. Neither would Chelsea, neither would Liverpool, and neither would bloody Spurs. Liverpool will never win the Champions League in my life. I swear down on that. Liverpool will never win the Champions League in my lifetime. Onwards, by the way. They might have won it in my lifetime before I made that statement, but I am telling you now, in my lifetime, Liverpool will not win the Champions League. And I can tell you right now that there's more chance of Man United winning the Champions League than Liverpool in my lifetime. We've had 2 goals in the Hull game. We had an equaliser from Craig Forsyth for Derby, but Oliver McBurney has put Hull straight back ahead, although 22 minutes later. And it is Hull City 2, Derby County 1 at the MKM Stadium. Here's Nick Voltamada playing midfield, not as the striker. Goal scorers for Newcastle so far, Sandro Tonali and Joel Linton. Do you know what? Do you know who I miss at Newcastle? And I don't know where he's gone, but Miguel Almiron. Where's Miguel Almiron gone? Oh, where's Almiron gone? I tell you, I liked a bit of Miguel Almiron. I did. Elanga for me, hit or miss. I'm saying miss. Elanga, if I were you, go back to Forest. Either that or Newcastle go get Callum Hudson-Odoi. And I'm not joking. The only way you're going to get Elanga playing properly well is if he's with Callum Hudson-Odoi. For me, personally, Elanga is a miss unless he's with Hudson-Odoi. Another goal in the Hull Derby game, 2-2. Derby level again. Didn't take them that long to equalise either. Only about a couple of minutes ago since Hull got the goal to put themselves back in front 2 minutes ago. So, yeah, very quick response from Derby County at the MKM Stadium, 2-2. Half a chance there. Offside flag, though, is up. And it's the former Ipswich man, Sammy Schmodix. I had no idea he played for Derby. There you go. Sammy Schmodix with the goal for Newcastle for Derby at Hull. 2-2. Sammy Schmodix. Well, where's the goals gone in this game, honestly? We had 2 goals in about a minute in the first 5 minutes, and now 28 minutes. Game's about as dry as my throat was 2 weeks ago. Oh, seriously, I had a really dry throat a good couple of weeks ago. Horrible. Who did we play when I had that dry throat? Can anybody remember? I think it was I fucking can't remember that far back. Montiel here. What's your first name, Mr. Montiel? It's a name that I do recognise. No, it's definitely not the Montiel that I know. Yeah, it's not the Montiel who was in the World Cup final for Argentina. It's a different Montiel. I've already answered that question, haven't I? Yeah, I have. It's gone for a corner off Joel Linton. "15 minutes ago before half time. And at half time, we will give you a full scores flash of all the games that are happening to the knowledge of Sofa Score. They are. 4th and 6th minute. 4th minute, 6th minute, the 2 goals. And now we sit in the 32nd minute with barely a hint of another goal. They've got the Azerbaijan flag on the centre of the kit. Okay. Well, I wasn't alerted as the opening goal for Leicester at the Riverside Stadium, but I am being notified of a Middlesbrough equaliser on 45 minutes from Riley McGreen to make it 1-1. Come on, you Borough. I want Leicester. I've told you this. I've told you all this. And remember, if Leicester get relegated to League One, I am going to throw a massive party. I fucking hate that club. It is a soulless club. I don't have any kind of reason to hate them, but I think the club's soulless. And why not pick on Leicester? So yeah, if they get relegated, it's a massive party. I swear to God. I'll be in dreamland if I can get that club far, far away from the Premier League. League 2 would be the dream. Get them in League 2 and that's dreamland, mate. Yeah, big up the EFL for that points deduction. Tadali. Dan Burn. Mm. 35th minute now. 10 minutes to go for the break. Just about. Well, 11, but... Fast forward 57 seconds and 47 seconds even. And we are there in a minute. 10 minutes. Let's have a third goal. Slip ball through by Hall. Sula trying to get on the end of it. That's going to be a throw in it. For Newcastle, you would imagine. Yeah. Burn into Alex Murphy. Newcastle have got a 93% passing accuracy in this first half. Dan Burn. Harvey Barnes. Down that left. Barnes. Burn. Come on, give me a goal. Playing Qarabag, and that should have been 3-0. Oh. Oh. Nicely played. Lovely ball slipped through. For Jacob Murphy should score. But according to the linesman, it's offside. I'm not too sure it is. Oh. We've got to have another goal before half time. At least one more. I was thinking after them first 2 goals by Joelinton and Tonali, it was going to be raining goals at this game, but no. 2 goals in the first 6 minutes, and then brick wall quiet. That's the closest really we've come to a goal since those first 2 in the game. Voltamada. 8 minutes to go before half time. That's going to be pulled back for a free kick. Just was pulling Silva. Barnes on Silva. Just a bit of grappling. A little bit melodramatic by Silva, but he did get pulled to the ground by Barnes. Wins the free kick. Qarabag. Joelinton. It's going to be a throw for Newcastle. And Burn. Argyle equaliser against Luton Town. Argyle equaliser against Luton Town. 1-1. Alex Murphy could have done better. Gets the throw, but he was trying to ping it back. Failed miserably. Right, Argyle score at Kenilworth Road. It's 1-1 there anyway in the EFL Trophy. Murphy, is that going to go for a corner via deflection? Yeah, it is. There you go. 13 minutes to play, and it's Tegan Finn with that Argyle equaliser. Can Argyle go on and win it at Kenilworth Road? 1-1 equaliser Argyle in the EFL Trophy against Luton. Ball into the box. It's a free header for Botman, and that should have been 3-0 again. Totally free headers from these set pieces, by the way, although there might be a bit of free space here for the Qarabag striker. What a strike. And Ramsdale with a sprawling save, and it will get Qarabag a corner. That's a good counter-attack. It's a good move by Qarabag. And a good effort, which forces a save from Ramsdale. and gets Qarabag a corner. They get themselves a bit of daylight in this game. In by Montiel. And the flick on did not quite work out. Last couple of minutes of this first stop. It's any other time we get, of course, at the end. Oh, good tackle. Yeah, he was allowed a bit too much time to do a bit of running there. Jankovic, in the end, good tackle. Just getting a little bit of confidence to Qarabag here in the final embers of the first half. Being a bit more courageous. Newcastle may want half-time just to reset. Because they are in a good phase here, Qarabag. Medina's ball might be offside there. Yeah. It's offside. Not a hard one to read that at all, really. Offside comfortably, yeah. And anyway, Alex Murphy made a good tackle. Ramsdale then. Doing the free kick, Qarabag. Jankovic is the free kick delivery. And it's going to go back towards Ramsdale's area. No real trouble for Newcastle defensively, although they have been able to get out there. Qarabag are going to get a chance to come back at them for half-time, plus any added time, of course, before we hit the half-time whistle. Jankovic, we're going to get a minimum of, I don't know how much added time we're going to get, actually. We're not going to get any added time. That is it for the first half. So there you go then. That's that tells you that it's been an open first half, but one in which was very exciting in the first 5-6 minutes, where we got those 2 goals from Joel Linton and Tonali. But since then, I have to say, it's not been quite the goal fest we were set to anticipate after those 2 goals. Half-time score 2-0 to Newcastle, and 8-1 on aggregate. Half-time score once again, Newcastle 2. Qarabag 0, 8-1 on aggregate. I do, and you're going to end up losing that 4-2. Let's have a look at some championship scores, though, for you. Blackburn Rovers 1, Bristol City 2. A first-half comeback from Bristol City. Emil Rees-Jacobsen and Scott Twine with the 2 goals to turn the game on its head after a 6-minute opener from Yuki Ohashi to put Blackburn 1-0 up. 2-1 Bristol City at half-time. Swansea 0, Preston North End 1. Daniel Jefferson with the goal for Preston on 26 minutes. Ipswich leading at Vicarage Road 1-0. Sindre Wall Ejelli with the 37th-minute opener for Ipswich. West Bromwich Albion 1-0 up at the Hawthorns against Charlton Athletic. 3rd minute at a time goal from George Campbell to put West Brom 1-0 up. 2-0 to Wrexham at home to Portsmouth. That is Max Cleworth and Sam Smith with the goals for Wrexham. And a 1-0 lead for Southampton at home to Queen's Park Rangers. Finn Azars with the 9th-minute opener. Hull City 2, Derby County 2. Oh, goal for Southampton. Goal right before half-time. We'll get to that in a minute. But Hull City 2, Derby County 2. Sammy Schmodix with the 2nd equaliser for Derby County. Craig Forsyth with the 1st. Goals from Hull City were an own goal by Callum Elder. And then Oliver McBurney with the 2nd goal to give Hull their 2nd lead, which was quickly wiped out by the former Ipswich player in Sammy Schmodix. And it is Borough 1, Leicester 1. Riley McGree with that late equaliser to cancel out Caleb Okoli's opener from Leicester. And a 1-1 there. But Southampton have scored, and it's 2-0 against Queen's Park Rangers for them. And it is Kuryu Matkusi who gets that 2nd for the Saints. The half-time score is Southampton 2, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Bradford City 1-0 up against Rotherham United at half-time in League One. Goal from Matthew Pennington to give Bradford the lead. 0-0 between Burton Albion and Stockport County. And Northampton 0, Port Vale 1. Jaden Stockley with the 8th minute added time before half-time goal to give Port Vale the lead. Accrington Stanley 0, Barnet 0. In League 2, and Salford leading Shrewsbury by 1-0. A 45+2 own goal from Luca Hull has Salford ahead. Van Rooyen National League is also taking place tonight. And I want to try and find the EFL trophy where we've got, of course, that game between Plymouth Argyle and Luton Town, where the current score is 1-1 at Kenilworth Road. It is late Argyle pressure, though, and it is looking like Argyle, if anybody, are going to score the winning goal, if there is to be one. And just kicked off for the second half in the Scottish Premiership, where Dundee United are taking on Aberdeen. And it's 0-0 in the other 2 games in the Champions League between Bayer Leverkusen and Olympiacos, and Inter Milan and Bodo Glimt. Yeah. And Prime are just reiterating those scorelines. Big win for Atletico Madrid, though, after a 3-3 draw in the first leg to beat Club Brugge 4-1 and a 7-4 aggregate win for Atletico de Madrid over Club Brugge. And there's been a goal, but it's at the wrong end, really, you would have to say, and most certainly from my point of view. But Luton Town have found the back of the net against Argyle to restore their lead. And it's Jordan Clark, that man who scored in the playoff final, which helped Luton reach the Premier League a few years ago, is the man who scored potentially a winning goal for them to progress in the EFL trophy. It is Luton Town 2, Plymouth Argyle 1. So yeah, Luton 2, Argyle 1. And we will keep you posted as well on anything that does come to fruition in the sense of goals across the EFL, which obviously, of course, are all pretty much back underway, with 7:45 kickoffs being the prominent feature of the EFL. And of course, as well, Dundee against Aberdeen, Dundee United against Aberdeen in that Scottish Premiership, but Hearts at the top, 4 points clear of Rangers, 6 points clear of Celtic after Celtic were beaten at home by Hibernian, who themselves are to within just 6 points of Rangers. And after that win at Celtic Park, they are just 4 points. Oh no, sorry, I was looking at Motherwell then. No, ignore me. They're 9 points behind Celtic after that victory at Celtic Park. And they are 11 points behind Rangers. The relegation round spots are being held by Dundee United, Aberdeen, Dundee FC, St Mirren, Kilmarnock and Livingston. Falkirk, Hibernian, Motherwell and Celtic make up the mid-table teams. And then your top two is obviously Hearts and Rangers, with Hearts currently holding a 4-point gap between themselves and Rangers. And a quick look at tomorrow's games, where there is plenty more action. If you do want to give it a watch, you will not be left without entertainment, most certainly not, including Atalanta against Borussia Dortmund, Juventus against Galatasaray, PSG against AS Monaco, and Benfica against Real Madrid from the Champions League, all on TNT Sports. And the EFL Championship, it is Millwall, Birmingham, Norwich, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday. And a reminder, Sheffield Wednesday are relegated from the EFL Championship. That was confirmed after their 2-1 Steel City derby defeat on Sunday. So Sheffield Wednesday are the earliest ever side to be relegated, I think, in English league football history. And their relegation was confirmed on Sunday after a 2-1 Steel City derby defeat against Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. And they are away at Carrow Road for their next match. But of course, nothing really matters anymore for Sheffield Wednesday, because they are going to be in League One next year. And the red side of Sheffield, looking a lot brighter now, are the hosts of Coventry City, who really, you would say, are required to win after dropping points. Not only... sorry, no, the other way around, ignore me. They're not required to win. What am I talking about? No, sorry, they will want to win again because they picked up points against Borough, and Borough dropped points at the weekend as well. It is one red-hot EFL Championship title race, but currently Coventry have a 2-point gap between themselves and Borough. Should Borough win at Leicester tonight, they will move on to 66 points, though. But Coventry, should they get that win, they will restore their 2-point buffer between themselves and Borough in what, like I say, is one red-hot title race, and it is Ipswich who are the nearest team currently to those teams. Their current live table position is 57 points in third, a point above Millwall, who play tomorrow against Birmingham. Should Millwall win, they'll move on to 59 points. And the other game tomorrow is Stoke against Oxford as well. Stoke, blimey, they have dropped off, haven't they? Wow. Yeah, now sat in 16th. And I tell you what, West Bromwich Albion do beat Charlton, because if West Brom do get that win, then crucially there will be a 3-point gap between themselves and Leicester, which, from my point of view, Leicester lose as well, 4-point gap, which from my point of view is crucial, because I do want Leicester down. Let's head over to where'sthematch.com then, because I want to bring you through just exactly what is going to be on offer for you guys on Thursday as well. And of course, we're going to be looking at maybe Monday. It's exciting to do, because there is going to be a likelihood that I'm going to go to the Brighton Arsenal game. I just need to plan that one out. Thursday, though, in the Europa Conference and Europa League, it is 5:45 kickoffs on TNT Sports, including Celtic as they go away to Stuttgart. And all the rest will be on Discovery Plus or TNT Sports Extra. 8 o'clock kickoffs will include Crystal Palace as they go for their home leg against Zrinjski Mostar. And Nottingham Forest 3-0 up on aggregate after a 3-0 away win at Fenerbahce for the first game with Vitor Pereira in charge. And all they have to do is avoid a 3-goal defeat, and Nottingham Forest against Fenerbahce at the City Ground will be through to the knockout stages. And the other game, which is made TV for TNT in terms of the main channels, is Bologna against SK Brann. The Friday night football is Wolves against Aston Villa. And what about Monday for you? Monday, Birmingham Borough. I fancy that. I actually fancy that as well. I fancy that. I actually fancy that game. But Birmingham Borough sounds like a good game to me. I might be wrong, but that sounds like a good game to me. I tell you what, yeah. If I'm going Brighton Arsenal, Birmingham Borough would be, that sounds like a good game. Final score, Luton Town 2, Plymouth Argyle 1. Luton Town progress in the EFL Trophy. And that was a 7 o'clock kickoff. The last time that Realltom football has really properly dealt with 7 o'clock kickoffs was, of course, back in the World Cup. Because as you will all be aware, an 8 o'clock kickoff was a 7 o'clock kickoff during the last World Cup. Very different kind of thing, really, with the World Cup coming up this year. Because, of course, not only is it a summer World Cup as opposed to a winter one, but also it will be kickoffs, really, going into the early hours. No, on Sunday. On Sunday. No, you're coming to the Emirates on Sunday. I don't expect that there will be another trip to Stamford Bridge for Arsenal this season, if there is another trip to Stamford Bridge via the FA Cup. which is the only way, or the Champions League, I will go. Can't. I don't think anyway. The game's, as far as I'm aware, the game's going to collections. I'm saying not a lot, mate, to be fair. We have a very good record against Chelsea. The last time you beat us, yes, was at the Emirates. I suppose you can take pride out of that, but there is really nothing you can do about our record at Stamford Bridge, which is the best ever record for any away side at Stamford Bridge in football history as well. Early corner for Newcastle, won by Harvey Barnes. Yes, should we continue to be unbeaten at Stamford Bridge, it will potentially reach as far as 9 or 10, because, of course, that win at Stamford Bridge in the Carabao Cup did make it 8. Well, surely you must be a bit hurt that Arsenal have the best ever unbeaten record recorded in football history at Stamford Bridge against you. You know, your big red London rivals have got the best ever unbeaten record at your stadium for an away team out of any club in the world. That must hurt you a little bit. Don't lie to me. Come on. I mean, I would be bloody pissed off if that was Tottenham, for example, at the Emirates. Sure. Come back to me when it's 15. Come back to me when it's 15. I swear to God that record will reach 15. I'm going to bet on it. That record will reach 15. That record will reach 15. And by the way, it might happen quicker than you think, because we can still play you in the FA Cup and also the Champions League this year. Four. This will be 4. No, the previous 2 seasons were 5th, I think. 5th. I think we went 5th, then 2nd. I think the final season that we finished outside the top 2 was a 5th place finish that got us Europa League. Off the top of my head, we were chasing top 4, and then we lost to Tottenham or something like that. I think that's how it's gone. 5th, 2nd, 2nd, 2nd. And that's the trouble with us. I mean, look, if you want to tell us to go find a way to get in the top 4, we can't do it. We could not finish 4th place to save our own backsides, but we can finish 2nd place quite comfortably. It's so strange, but there you go. $50 minutes on the clock. Newcastle 2, Qarabag 0. What more goals, please? Be nice. Oh, chance. And it is a consolation on the aggregate terms, but it is a goal which puts this game within the 90 minutes to within 1 goal. And they were threatening it towards the end of the second half. And about 5 minutes into the second half, they've got that goal, which in the face of the 90-minute match puts them back in it. In terms of the aggregate score, they are still 6 goals behind. I think it's still 0-0 against Bodo for them, and that is not good news either for Internazionale Milan, because they are 3-1 down in aggregate. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there is work to do for Inter. And by the way, the attack momentum has been very, very high. Some big spikes, all in favour of Inter. Only 2 little pips in the... Well, that didn't take long. And Newcastle, within an instant of that Qarabag goal, restore their 2-goal advantage on the night and restore their 7-goal aggregate advantage over Qarabag. 3-1, and straight away Newcastle get themselves back to 2 goals in front. And Sven Botman with a very nice header. It's a perfect contact. He guides it into that near post, low, and it beats the goalkeeper comfortably. 3-1 on the night, 9-2 on aggregate. Really, it should be 3-0 as well, and 9-1. They won't, but no, Bodo Glimt have had to withstand an awful lot of attack by Inter Milan in the first half of that one. But look, it's absolutely there for Bodo to just sit back, completely part of the bus if they want to, because they're 2 goals up at aggregate. The only reason for them to go straight out tonight is if they lose 3-0 second half. It's all Champions League games are on TV, and this is Tuesday's top pick by Amazon Prime Video, and it is the only reason why I'm doing it as well, because at the minute, if I can avoid TNT Sports, I'm avoiding TNT Sports. I do not like TNT Sports. Triple change, Lewis Hall, Joe Willock, Anthony Gordon are on to replace. I have not been given the players who they are replacing, but those 3 changes are Lewis Hall on for Kieran Trippier and Joe Willock on for Sven Botman. And only 2 of the substitutions are appearing on SofaScore, even though there was 3. Let's see if UEFA.com/Champions League has got the details of the final substitution. Joel Linton was the other player to be withdrawn. One of the goal scorers tonight. You want to play... I don't know how it works, by the way, but I do think... I mean, for some part of it, UEFA are trying to stop... I don't know how long it goes on for, but UEFA, for a period of time, are stopping domestic games, if you like. Like, there is a period where UEFA will not allow Chelsea, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Penalty. What, Chelsea won't beat PSG, will they not? Strange that, because you managed to beat them very, very well in the FIFA Club World Cup final. That was, I was so surprised. Oh, honestly. I mean, you mustn't forget that going into that final, we all had in the back of our all had the back in the back of our mind a brilliant campaign in that competition by PSG and a 5-0 Champions League final victory. So we all thought you guys were done for. But they beat you. I think you beat them 3-0 in that final. Right, here's a penalty, by the way. And Ramsdale saves it. The follow-up is in. And once again, Qarabag pull it back to within 1 goal. On the night, to clarify, but it is still a 5-goal deficit, which was exactly the no, that can't be. No, it's 6-goal deficit. Ignore me. 6. 9-3. Well, the goals are definitely flowing now. And the onus on Newcastle really to absolutely now just screw your heads on and slap these lot to bits. I mean, you conceded 2 goals. Yeah, giving away a stupid penalty. It was a handball. Lewis Hall, Joe Willett. Hall. Was he tripped there? No. Good tackle. Well, he might have been tripped, but it was not illegal. And Montiel. There's certainly some confidence going forward for Qarabag. There's an off-the-ball event between Montiel and Tinali. Yeah, this is getting messy, actually, a little bit. I mean, look. You're 6 goals up on aggregate. But you take the aggregate away. And, oh, sheesh. To be fair, though, from Tinali, that is stupid. Because, again, I get it. You're playing Qarabag. You don't want to be conceding 2 goals. You've been pegged back twice, second half. But look up on the big screen. You're 6 goals up on aggregate, for crying out loud. You could lose the game 5-3. And you'd probably still go through. Let's just get back to some more goal flashes for you in the Championship. Still nothing in the Champions League. Southampton have got some real daylight against Queen's Park Rangers now. 3-0 up St Mary's. Oh, hang on a minute. Chance here. Gordon. Goal. And in the face of it, an absolutely ginormous goal. Because it is Bodo Glimt who have scored at the San Siro. They're 3-1 up an aggregate. But now it's 4-1 an aggregate. Bodo Glimt, ladies and gentlemen, are 4-1 up on aggregate, subject to VAR check, of course, on the goal, as per all goals. But from what I'm being told by SofaScore, it is 4-1 on aggregate to Bodo Glimt against Inter Milan, because the goal has been scored by Jens Petter Horg in the 58th minute to give Bodo Glimt a 1-0 on the night lead. And that extends them now to a 3-goal aggregate lead. And they are on the brink of knocking out last season's runners-up. So Inter Milan won, ladies and gentlemen. Bodo Glimt won. That is strange, but my word, Bodo Glimt, wow. Most certainly a big shock, that. Yeah, so now it is a goal Hull against Derby County. 3-2 is the latest scoreline for you in that one. And your Hull City goal score at the MKM Stadium against Derby County in what has been a thriller in the face of it. True. And it's a former Sheffield United player in John Egan who has scored the third Hull goal. In fact, I think two former Sheffield United players have scored. Yeah. Well, hang on. I'm pretty sure I saw. Hang on. Bear with. Yeah. Oliver McBurney. Yeah, Oliver McBurney and John Egan, two former Sheffield United players. And the first goal was an own goal. But yeah, very true. That was 3-1 as well, wasn't it? They do love a good 3-1 at home, don't they, Bodo Glimt? Tell you. Barnes, Willock, poor. Got to be better. Considering your opposition, come on. Well, one back. Really well taken by Hall. The pass to Willock, intercepted. And Qarabag will come on their way. Newcastle need to start dominating. And just wrap this up. Because for me, it's embarrassing to be conceding 2 goals to Qarabag when you won the first leg so comfortably 6-1. You should be really battering these like 5, 6, 7-0. That's a good tackle by Willett. And can Newcastle show a bit of clinicality now and get the next goal in this game? And Harvey Barnes, oh, he was picking out the bottom corner. What a strike. Good save. I like the technique. I liked the idea of Harvey Barnes. And in general, I like Harvey Barnes in a Newcastle shirt. It's a good save. To deny Harvey Barnes from scoring that goal, which would have, for the second time in this second half, restored a 2-goal cushion on the night for Newcastle. Of course, it is a much bigger cushion than 2 on aggregate 6. And it will be another corner. Voldemort did not get the last touch. And there was some infringement in the box as the corner was being taken, and the referee is giving a free kick to Qarabag. Oh, there's a problem here. Duran pulling up. Oh, there. Yeah, his knee's gone. He has buckled his knee. And that will be a night-ending event for him, unfortunately. Ouch. I've done that a few times myself. Buckled my knee, jolted my knee. It hurts. And it does make you feel a bit like, well, to be fair, if you buckle or jolt your knee, you feel sick in the stomach. Battering Queen's Park Rangers. Queen's Park Rangers, though, can be a banana skin. To be fair, there's no denying that Queen's Park Rangers have pulled off some wild results over this season, really. But tonight, Southampton have put them away with ease. It is 2-0 Ipswich at Vicarage Road. And George Hurst adding that second goal for Ipswich Town. There was a goal back in there from Portsmouth by Zach Swanson. 2-1 to Wrexham. And equaliser Lyndon Dykes for Charlton at the Hawthorns. West Brom 1, Charlton 1. Didn't doubt that you'd beat them. Miss Melina, welcome aboard to Ada. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Big up. Qarabag from. Well, if Newcastle can get 2 more goals to solidify and perhaps a more comfortable on the night win, it will set the record for the highest scoring Champions League 2-legged encounter. And 13 goals has been set 3 times as the record to beat. And by the way, I'm reading that off the Champions League website because how conveniently they provide these lovely little snippets of things on the... I do like UEFA.com, to be fair. The match centre. Yeah, much better compared to FIFA.com. Needless to say. Barnes. Oh. Murphy. 20 minutes just shy of. More or less, by the way, 18 and a half minutes, I should say, really. Yeah, 18 and a half minutes. Jacob Murphy. And stands up that ball. It should have been met really with a free header. Murphy had a go. Wrong technique. Yeah, you're not a shooter, Murphy. You're a crosser. Do your job. Wild effort. 4-2 to Hull City. Game absolutely 4-1. Fraser, who will be delighted. And his Hull City, who lead Derby County by 4 goals to 2 at the MKM Stadium. Hull City 4, Derby County 2. Not bad. Now can West Brom go beat Charlton, please? Genuinely, West Brom. I want Leicester relegated. I want my party. Wasters. 6 minutes to go. Still 1-1. Come on, West Brom. Don't let me down. Come on, Borough as well. Still 1-1 against fucking Leicester. Come on, beat them. Borough beat Leicester. West Brom beat Charlton. Happy fucking days. About 16 minutes to go in this second leg Champions League encounter, where if we get 2 more goals, we will have the highest scoring Champions League 2-legged tie in history. 13 goals is the record to beat. Oh, lovely run. And free shot, Voltamada. Take your touch. Wasteful. Goal to Bodo Glimt. Oh, my fucking... This is... that. Wow. 2-0 Bodo Glimt. I know, Fraser. 5-1 an aggregate now. Inter are out. Bodo Glimt doing absolute wonders. I mean, the 3-1 victory in the first leg at home for Bodo surprised me when I first heard of it. But this tonight is even more surprising. What the hell are Inter up to? 2-0 Bodo at the San Siro. And it's Hakan Evjen with that second Bodo Glimt goal. And it has them 2-0 up at the San Siro. It's 5-1 in aggregate, ladies and gents. A VAR check in progress here for a potential penalty. The check has been complete. No penalty. Into the danger area and... Yeah, Inter are out, guys. I mean, I can't... Inter are out. Let's just say it as it is. Inter are out, guys. They're gone. The runners-up last year, yes, they got beat 5-0 in the final, but still runners-up, are out. They're out. Crazy work by Bodo Glimt. And by the way, first half, they had to withstand a lot of Inter Milan pressure. Fair play to them second half for coming out and getting 2 goals. Sounds to me as though Bodo Glimt have come out here in this second leg and had a big ballsy performance, withstood so much pressure first half. And in the second half, just gone all guns blazing and got 2 goals. Because literally, I kid you not, when I look at the attack momentum, it was all Inter in those first stages of that one. 5-0 now to Southampton. James Bree, your latest scorer. Fidazars, Kuryu Matsuki with 2, and Leo Sienza the other scorers. League One, Bradford 1, Rotherham 0. Burton Albion beating Stockport County 3-0 at the Pirelli Stadium. And Port Vale still maintain their lead. And Shrewsbury have turned the game on its head at Salford. Gary Neville won't be happy. It's 2-1 to Shrewsbury. It's Salford, Barnet lead at Accrington. Well, I have to say, Bodo Glimt, ladies and gents, honestly. I know you might think, well, 2-0, great, but no. Look at it more in depth. If you're not watching the game, the attack momentum is crazy. I mean, look at the attack momentum in this game. All Inter. They've been feeding off scraps for little spikes. They've found the goals, but they've withstood so much pressure. They're 5-1 up. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The amount of pressure they withstood, Fraze. Look at that attack momentum. Just look at it. It's non-stop attack momentum for goal back. As we speak, there has been a goal back for Inter Milan. But they're still out. They're out. I'll tell you what, Bodo will not care about the clean sheet at this point. All they'll care about is getting through. Goal scorer. Just waiting for the confirmation of that. Harvey Barnes, straight at the keeper. Alessandro Bastoni with the goal back for Inter Milan. They're out. They are out, but goal back. If you think that in 14 minutes they're going to get 4 goals or 3 goals, nah. I ain't believing it. Oh, I like Prime Vision. Prime Vision. Yeah, it is what it is. It's absolutely astounding, really, when you think that Inter are the runners-up of last season. They were the runners-up. Granted, they got beat 5-0 in the final for PSG's first ever Champions League title, but and by the way, even though they got beat 5-0, it was one of the most boring Champions League finals ever watched. Really. Like, it was 5-0, but it was one of the most boring Champions League finals ever. I've got to admit, the last Champions League final that was my favourite was the Chelsea-Man City one. Really sloppy on the ball, Newcastle here. And I still can't understand how Chelsea beat PSG in that Club World Cup final. Gordon had a gun. Like, oh, I'm always going to enjoy Real Madrid winning the trophy. Yeah, I mean, look, I did enjoy that, obviously, because Real Madrid won it. Real Madrid are my Spanish team, so there you go. I don't have a German team that I support. Not now that Jack is out of Leverkusen. Nah, ever since we won at the Bernabeu, I've got a huge respect for Real Madrid. I want to play Madrid again as well at the Bernabeu. I do. Like, well, yeah, no, I want to play Madrid again. I like playing Real Madrid. Again. 'Final score, Hull City 4, Derby County 2. Fraser will be celebrating in his bedroom, loving life after that Hull City 4-2 win at the MKM Stadium. Shot straight Ramsdale. Five minutes to go. Get 2 goals, Newcastle. One from Gordon, wins me a bet. You're not going to, are you? You've been sloppy. Borough have drawn to Leicester. Final score 1-1 in that game. Dan Burn. Jacob Murphy. There's been no elegance about Newcastle this second half. And they've not been sitting back at all, Qarabag. They've been trying to get forward. Fair enough. We're going to see a debut for Leo Shahar, who is an 18-year-old, and he's coming on here to replace Jacob Murphy, and he makes his Newcastle debut. And he is Newcastle's number 61, and 61-6-1 was the score of the first leg. Johan Visser. Barnes. No space to manoeuvre, really. Shahar with his first touch. There, Dan Burn. Tonali. Willock. Hall. Willock. Next up for Newcastle is, I think it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. No. It's... Oh, Everton. 3 o'clock kickoff. It is a 3 o'clock kickoff. Everton. At home. So no travelling for them, which is convenient. Another home game. Gordon here. Barnes should really be getting that ball into the box, but it deflects. It's not even a corner. Not much quality from Newcastle, really, in the second half, on an attacking sense. Has to be said. "90 seconds left of the 90, and we're only just at 9:45 as well. Lewis Hall, Joe Willock. Down the line now to Leo Shahar. Joe Willock. Sandro Tonali. Gordon, slip through. Willock, deflection, corner. Big block by Medina. We have a drink, Tonali. Got the first goal, of course. He has put in a shift for his team today. Three minutes of added time. Good corner by Tonali as well. 3 minutes of added time. And 3 minutes left of Qarabag's campaign in the Champions League, unless they can find 7 goals in the next 3 minutes, which would be rather unlikely. And the Newcastle fans are beginning to make their way out of the stadium for those who want to get home. Be a chance here for Qarabag. Deflection on that shot to level it up on the night. They have been in most adventurous second half with their efforts. Attackingly, Qarabag. And if they weren't 6-1 down on aggregate, I'll tell you what. Yeah, they've been good second half, Qarabag. Tell you what, and the corner goes in. They go out of play. The job very nearly done here. 30 seconds left on the clock. It is going to be the 6th Champions League victory of the campaign for Newcastle. This. We will have one more corner at the end of the game. And I think upon delivery of this corner, we will get the commencement of the final whistle. And there's the flick. Back heel by Dan Burn. And that is it. And Newcastle go through. Not quite as much of a comfy win tonight as opposed to the first leg, but Qarabag did indeed make themselves look really good in that second half, played some good stuff and were very positive in an attacking sense. But it was those 2 early goals which sort of set the tone of the game from Sandro Tonali and Joel Linton. And obviously then we had that goal from Duran that got Qarabag back into it on the night. But yes, Sven Botman straight away put Newcastle back into a 2-goal advantage. The final goal came on 57 minutes from Jafar Guliev, and there was no response from Newcastle for 33 minutes to get a record goal amount for 2 legs, but also a bigger scoreline. Final score, though, is Newcastle 3, Qarabag 2. Well, let's round it all up for you then on this Tuesday night, where it is very nearly done at the Bay Arena and also at the San Siro, for whom Bayer Leverkusen are going through. That has actually, just as we speak, hit the full-time whistle. Bayer Leverkusen draw 0-0 at home to Olympiacos, but do go through 2-1 on 2-0 rather on aggregate over Olympiacos. 0-0 draw at the Bay Arena, but Bayer Leverkusen are through with a 2-0 aggregate win. And all that's left is the Bodo Glimt Inter Milan game, which had only 3 minutes out of time at the end of it. And it looks though Hakan Evyen's goal on 72 minutes is going to be the winning goal. Alessandro Bastoni with one back for Inter, but no further goals unless we wait. And we wait no longer. The final whistle has gone, and Bodo Glimt make history for themselves. And what a win it is, a 5-2 aggregate victory over Inter Milan for them, and a 2-1 victory at the San Siro, with that goal from Hakan Evyen indeed being the winning goal. Final score on the night, 2-1 to Bodo Glimt, but 5-2 on aggregate. And Inter Milan, last year's runners-up in this competition, are out. On to the EFL Championship scores then, where Blackburn Rovers were beaten 2-1 at home by Bristol City. Hull City winning 4-2 at the MKM Stadium at home to Derby County. Middlesbrough dropping points and drawing 1-1 with Leicester at the Riverside. Swansea 1, Preston 1 at the Swansea.com Stadium. 2-0 defeat for Watford at Vicarage Road. Ipswich Town getting a 2-0 win there. The Baggies failed to beat Charlton at the Hawthorns with a 1-1 draw. Wrexham beating Portsmouth 2-1 after Portsmouth's big win at Millwall the weekend. And Southampton just about finished with a 5-0 scoreline over Queen's Park Rangers. League One. It finishes 1-0 Port Vale against Northampton, a 3-0 win for Burton Albion for Stockport County, and Bradford City beating Rotherham United by 1-0. League Two finished Accrington Stanley 0, Barnet 1, and Salford 1, Shrewsbury 2. Well, let's have a look at the EFL Championship table as we await the final whistle at St Mary's, with Southampton leading 5-0 against Queen's Park Rangers. For sure, their biggest win of the season, I think. And that is going to move them on to 50 points. That's going to be to within 4 points of the top 6. And to within 13 points of the top 2. Queen's Park Rangers suffer a massive blow on goal difference, though. They were on a -1 going into this game, but now on a -6. And yeah, it is quite a big defeat for Queen's Park Rangers when you consider some of the results they've had this year. Leicester, with their point at the Riverside, do get themselves within 1 point of West Bromwich Albion. And at the top, Coventry can move themselves onto 68 points and 5 points clear of Borough after Borough failed to win again at the top of the tree in the EFL Championship. So a big night for Coventry tomorrow as they face Sheffield United, and also a couple of big Champions League games as the playoffs finish off. But from here from me, it is thank you very much for joining us on this Champions League Tuesday night, and for the game on Prime as Newcastle have a prime 2 legs and get themselves into the prime time of this competition, reaching the knockout stages where their opponents will be discovered by themselves on Friday lunchtime. From here from me, though, it is Friday evening the next time you can see me with what will be the final edition for a couple of years of Wolves against Aston Villa at Molineux, ahead of a huge Premier League weekend, which has 2 very exciting games on each of Saturday and Sunday. Leeds Man City should be mouth-watering, and Arsenal-Chelsea is the weekend's headliner. So next up then on Realltom Football is indeed Wolves Villa on Friday night. And also reaction to that Champions League draw will come in shape of a video potentially. I haven't decided yet how I will react to that. But next up, once again, Wolves Aston Villa on Friday night, and you can join us from 7:45 starting time for that match. Bye-bye.